54, 55. Yeah, you go give it a minute. I've only just turned it on. No patience. It's like, it's not a magic box, is it? It's got to take time for the water to run through. I don't know, people don't understand. There you go, so that's settling at about mid 60s. Yeah, it's coming down the hot pipe, it's not a diverter. I think they're just impatient. It's okay? Alright, there we go, job done. Here we go, more problems. I'm here to do one thing and I'm getting more stuff. Yeah, that's why I've changed it. Yeah, that's why I've changed the part. So it's fixed now. You want to check the tap upstairs? Yeah, before I go? Thank you. Welcome back to this week's Day in the Life of a Gas Engineer. That's me. If you're new to the channel, I specialize predominantly in breakdowns and servicing, installs every now and again. Power flushing, I do quite a bit of it, but if you want to see power flushing videos, just scroll through, because most of the people who've been watching and subscribing and stuff are bored of my power flushing videos, so I try not to put too many of those on unless it's something interesting. This one is not a power flushing video, it's a breakdown on a Vaillant Turbo Max. It was a plate replacement with a bit of a twist. The Tenant was getting on my nerves a bit towards the end, so you see me snap a little bit, which not good of me, but it's, when you're under pressure to get a job done and then you got someone, it kind of sometimes just makes you go. So yeah, I put it in the video because I just want to show what it's like when you're working under pressure and the pressure that we come under whilst we're doing strenuous work anyway. So enough rambling. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you feel like it, hit that little bell button as well, because that will also help me out as well. And I'll catch you guys on Sunday. Hope you've all had a good Easter as well. Right, here we go. First job, we've got a Turbo Max Plus. So the problem is apparently with the hot water, I've been sent here with a plate, but I'm going to run some few tests first to see whether it's a hot water issue, a plate issue or a diverter valve issue. So we're going to run a hot tap. I'm going to keep an eye on this temperature gauge to see if that's climbing up rapidly and the boiler's locking out. Also going to be checking if there's any heat transferring down the flow pipe. That's cold at the moment, which means the heating has not been running, so it's good. I'll be able to test that when I run the hot tap to see if it is the diverter or the plate. Got both of them with me, so let's get this tested and then see what needs to be done. Right, just run a hot tap. Going to keep an eye on the temperature, but also keep my hand on the flow pipe here as well. Yeah, definitely plate. That temperature is just shooting up and I've got nothing coming down there. So let's turn that off. Actually, I don't think the diverter in this has a mid position. Let's have a look. No, it only has P1 and P2, that's fine. Cool, right, turn that off. So we know it's definitely the plate because we've got no heat going down the flow pipe. Temperature is shooting up, so let's get this stripped out. Let's get the plate swapped out and let's get things moving. Okay, so got the boiler drained out. Expansion vessel's been recharged. Obviously it's flat as a pancake on a boiler this old. So yeah, I've actually gone back to the RoboSack. You may have noticed in some of my videos I've done away with the folding buckets because I found that they were pinholing. I bought two and they pinholed in a short time, so I thought for the cost of it, RoboSacks they're also going to pinhole, but they're cheaper and I can just reuse them again and again and again. So that's all been drained out, and also they're bigger than the folding buckets as well, so I get a bit more of a wider area to catch water. Enough of the RoboSack plate, let's get this swapped out. So whilst I was doing this, I've soaked all the connections in WD-40, so let that sit for a few minutes while I've been draining out, recharging the vessel and everything. So now I should be able to pop each of the pins out. Now there's two types of plates that you can get for these. You've got this one, which I can't actually see the part number, 4910, I think. No, it's all been taken off. Well, this is basically a plate that's been bought and returned multiple times from the supplier, but 9 times out of 10 this is the one that goes in, because it's got that small coffin shaped plate. So I always bring both with me because you never know which one you're going to come across. But I've never fitted that one, and most of the time when I do pick up the plate and I pick up both, it's that same box, because I don't think anyone's ever had to change that one. And the difference is the actual length of it. So this one's, if you marry it up to there, that one is the same width as that one. Whereas this one here, just so you know what the difference is, it's longer. So that's obviously not going to fit there. So it's definitely this one. So, and which is good because this one's more expensive as well. So I'll pop that back in the box in just a moment. So now that this has all been soaked, I'm going to pop the clips out and start undoing the plate, get this one in, get it all back together and test it. I'll try and record it if I've got somewhere where I can set the camera up to get focused on this bit. But if not, it's going to be a simple case of undo that clip, undo that clip, undo the clip at the bottom, undo that nut. Now you can, two ways of doing this. You can either take the diverter out, which I most likely will do, so it just gives you a bit more room to work on everything else, or you can leave the diverter in if you want to disturb as least connection as possible, and then try and get all four bits in together. But I'll see how I get on as if it looks like it's all coming out easy, then I'll leave the diverter in and I'll just get it all out. The nice thing is I'm working like an outbuilding cupboard, so if I get a bit of water anywhere, it's not the end of the world. Obviously the rubber bag's there to catch everything. I'm waffling on too much. Let me just get on with it. Well, that was not fun. I had to literally hammer it out on the right hand side because it was just so badly seasoned there. And then here we can see let's get rid of all that water in there. Let's see, yeah, it's all black on the inside. So definitely need to get this swapped out, so I'll get the new one in. Hopefully the new one goes in easier than this one came out, because yeah, you can see all the dents in the plate now where I've had to hammer it to try and get it out. So yeah, even though I soaked in WD-40, it was still difficult to get out. But the new one, here we go, look, you can compare the sizes as well now that we've got it out here. There we go, so that's the right size. Well, it will be that way around because we've got O-ring, 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 fibre washer, which is here. So let's get this all greased up. Get that all greased up in there. Slide the new one in. Hopefully it goes in easier than the old one came out. Got one bar left for my uni light. Got another battery in the van, so that's not a problem. But I want to get this done without having to go back to the van for a new battery. Let's get it in. Finally got it all back together. That nut at the bottom was difficult because I'd forgotten, because I haven't done one of these in so long. I always do that nut up first, or at least get it moving onto it, because once you've got all the others in, there's very little play on this pipe. When I was trying to get that nut on, it wasn't going on straight, and I almost started to cross thread it. But before that happened, I undid it. I basically had to take the plate out again, which is why I moved the camera, because the camera was basically here and I needed to get around the side here. So I ended up taking the plate out again, mocking it back up, pushing it in but not all the way, getting it in just enough so that I could get that thread to start from the side. Once I got it just a couple of turns on it, so I knew it wasn't going to cross thread, I then pushed everything else back in, done all the clips back up again. And now firstly let's turn on the cold mains, because I've had it in the past where that bottom clip there where the cold water connection is, it looks absolutely fine, but I've turned the water on, a few seconds later, pop. But luckily, if that happens, we're like in an outbuilding and I've got the rubber sat below it. But let's turn the cold mains back on first, and let us pray. Okay, that's fully open. Got a tap running, so we're going to let all the air out of the plate, and then we're going to go and shut the tap, and then we're going to test this under pressure for a minute or so before I repressurize the boiler itself. So I'm going to turn the tap off. Let's just turn that off. Okay, now I'm going to leave that for about a minute, and then I'll repressurize the boiler, and then we'll test the hot water again. As long as we don't have any leaks, we should be all good. And this one I didn't actually remove the diverter, I left it in position. Probably would have been a bit easier if I had taken it out, because then when I was trying to get the plate out, I probably would have had more room to push it and probably to pull it when I was trying to get those two in. But I did it the hard way, I guess, but it's in. And in fact, I think whilst I've been chatting, it's all looking okay. It's not popping out, it's not leaking, so I think I'm going to go ahead and repressurize the boiler, and then I'll come back and we'll check the hot water. Right, back up to pressure, boiler's fired up. Are you running the hot tap? Can you check hot tap for me now? It's all okay? Well, temperature's only at 42 degrees, so I think that was on the heating side. They're now opening a hot tap, so let's see what that temperature reading does there. So first it's dropping, which is good because we're getting an influx of cold water. It's now climbing at a good rate. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Yeah, you go give it a minute. I've only just turned it on. No patience. It's like, it's not a magic box, is it? It's got to take time for the water to run through. I don't know, people don't understand. There you go, so that's settling at about mid-60s. When I first turned it on, that literally shot straight up to over 90 degrees and then shut down. But high 60s now, 70, climbing at a much steadier pace. It's okay? No. Yeah, it's coming down the hot pipe, it's not a diverter. I think they're just impatient. It's okay? Alright. There we go, job done. Here we go, more problems. I'm here to do one thing and I'm getting more stuff. Yeah, that's why I've changed it. Yeah, that's why I've changed the part. So it's fixed now. You want to check the tap upstairs? Yeah, before I go? Thank you.